Welcome back to the Combo Cabal. I am your host, Bryant Cook, and today we are playing the Vintage Showcase. I haven't played Vintage since the last one. It was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe. I haven't played Vintage since then. I've just done a lot of research on Magic Online, primarily through Goldfish, and I've come to some of my own conclusions about how I would like to update the Blue White PO deck that I played in my last Vintage Showcase, where I went 5-2. So when we look at the main deck, a lot of it's pretty similar for the most part. So the lands haven't changed for Flooded Strand because we're playing a Plains in the board to help with Prismatic Ending. The primary reason to play white, one of the best removal spells ever printed, and I'm just really high on the card right now. So we are running white as our splash color. You can't really run a tertiary color due to Urza Saga. It's just too much on the mana. I wouldn't recommend it. Alright, so from there we have Black Lotus and all these really powerful artifacts. You love to see it. There's one missing. In this event, I am not running the main deck Pithing Needle. What I found is that it's pretty miserable against the Jeskai decks. It's bad against Bug. It's bad in the Mirror. It's really only good against your Bizarre matchups, and I don't know if you necessarily need the main deck Needle in those matchups. I'd rather just not have such a narrow card. You were running it to protect your Urza Saga, but we just don't need that. Like, I'm running Mentor. I don't need to protect my Saga as much. I think that was sort of a holdover from the mono blue list where you actually did have to protect your Urza Saga because it was your best win con. Here we have the power of Mentor to back us up. We don't really need to win through Saga. So no main deck no main deck Needle. All right, so then obviously we have the Broken Cantrips, the Phyrexian spells. All of this is pretty similar. Time Vault to pair with our Manifold Key. The combo that is helped by Urza Saga, infinite turns is pretty good. And there's no black for like Yawgmoth's Will or anything because we have two effects that take extra turns with our Mentor, Time Walk itself, and then Time Vault and Key. All right, so then we have Hercules, all this good stuff. Pretty similar. I chose to stay on 2 Lavinia. And that's something a lot of people question me on, but I feel like it's one of the primary reasons to run white. It is so good in the Mirror. It is amazing. It's also really good against all these bizarre decks at the moment because they're trying to cast more and more free spells via Madness, more pitch cards. Like, the deck is just, it loses to Lavinia. Lavinia is just a really big powerhouse. It is bad against Bug, but I think it's really good against the rest of the format for the most part, and I'm just a big fan. What I did add to the deck was a Snapcaster Mage, and this is what came out of the Needle slot. I really wanted just a little bit more of a way to grind against Xerox and Bug, and Needle was just not good enough, so I added Snapcaster. It does buy back your Ancestrals, and then, my favorite vintage card, Tinker. So having a little bit of recursion is sort of nice, but it's not necessary. The Snapcaster slot could be something else. But I just wanted that extra grind value. Okay, so you've come through here. Teferi, I am not running Repeal. I think that Repeal is kind of a stinky card. It's not very good. It's really low power level for Vintage. And outside of bouncing your own Mox, it doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, it can mount to Chal 0, but 4 mana to bounce a Sphere effect isn't good enough. I don't know why people still play that card. It's just not great. But that said, if you're going to make an argument for it, it does bounce construct tokens. That is something it does do. But I don't really feel like the combo mirrors are about that. Yes, you can lose to a construct, but that's usually not what the games are about. So I'm recommending that you don't play Repeal. Where Teferi in the PO mirror is devastating. It shuts down all those flusters that all your opponents are playing. Right now, most combo lists are playing anywhere between 3 and 4 Flusterstorm, and Teferi's just a house there, also solidifying that white splash. So in our white splash, we have Lavinia, Mentor, Teferi. I've talked about how great Prismatic Ending is. I actually got to hardcast a Sphinx of the Steel Wind yesterday in the prelim, preparing for today. In that prelim, I ran a Karn because of a bunch of other people have been running Karn. I hated it. It was so bad. Being a 4 off your Citadel actually cost me a game, maybe even a match. And that was just miserable. There was a few times I had a mulligan just because it was too clunky in my opening hand, where at least a Needle would have turned on Metalcraft. I just wasn't a big fan. So not running Karn. But I did reevaluate my board a little bit. There's no longer any copies of Hull Breacher. That was a card that I was fairly unimpressed with in my last showcase, so not running that, and instead I'm running a Balance, another card to beat that pesky bug matchup. Make them sacrifice all those copies of Collector Oof, Deathrite Shaman, Tarmogoyf Leo, all gone. Really big fan of that, and I would recommend the Balance. Cluster, you know, we do want the 4th copy for our combo matchup and Xerox. Board out that Hercules recall, and then your deck is already built to go. We are sort of pre-boarded against combo, but you do have to side out something for the recall. You could just do one ending and not play the Fluster, but I'd rather have another Haymaker. And in my last video, that I'll link in the card above, a little bit late in the deck tech for that, but you'll see it in the card above. I talk about how great it is running 2 big dumb idiots, aka 2 robots. And one is for your Bazaar matchups and your other is for shops. Sphinx is actually pretty miserable against the shop stacks between Stonecoil Serpent and Merit Lodge. They can just, like, whatever version they're on, Sphinx can often lose. Where sometimes you just need a turn 1 Blightsteel. And that's why Blightsteel's in the deck. Sphinx is really for the Bazaar decks, Blightsteel is for shops. You can also board in Sphinx against Bug, which is really nice. They just have different purposes, and the cost of having Tinker always win the game for 1 sideboard slot is worth it to me. So I am running Sphinx and Blightsteel. The planes, as I touched upon, is for your Prismatic Endings, but it's also just great against Bug to have an extra non-wastelandable white source for when you're trying to cast Endings or Balance. And then obviously, Tabernacle. The Bazaar decks have picked up a lot. Looking at results, they're one of the most popular decks in the format. I want that extra effect to just shut down their best starts. They do play Wasteland and Strip Mine, but I'm not looking for this to shut them down the whole game. I'm looking for it to kill a few creatures and buy me time. And then, you know, Tormod's Crypt, let's remove those Vengevines and those Squeeze. Let's not let them get too much advantage off Bazaar. Needle effects shut down Bazaar, which is one of the most important things in the matchup, in my opinion. That deck, if you can stop it from getting going, is actually sort of bad. So Needle, you sort of play a protect the queen game with Needle. You hold up Fluster, you hold up your forces, you fight over Needle. Make sure that that Needle sticks, because if it does, they can't win. That's my deck tech. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I still haven't fixed my donation deck slide. I'll have to do that after I'm done with this. But if you're interested in supporting us, consider a donation deck. You can go to theepicstorm.com/donation decks, showcase your combo deck here at the Epic Storm, show me your creation. And if you join the Epic tier, you can actually join me here on this very YouTube channel. Just go to the description, click on the donation deck link, and you can be here with me. While you're in that description, make sure to subscribe. It is the easiest and free way to support us. You'll get notifications and more about upcoming videos. Just do it. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you're looking to go to the next level, you can always become a member. For $4.99 a month as our base tier, you'll get all videos early until the end of August, on top of badges, emotes, access to the member part of the Discord, highlighted user profiles, and more. Make sure to check that out. We also have our Stormtrooper tier, where I will give you 50% off a donation deck every single month, on top of 2 cyborg guides every single month. You just have to message me which cyborg guides you'd like for what decks. And then our Combo Cabal tier, you get early access to all deck lists and videos forever early, not just in August. And on top of 1 donation deck every single month. I probably could have brought up the slide for that. Oh no, I just said I don't have that one. Never mind. Whew, it's been a morning. Yeah, so go check those out. And obviously, comment, like, do all that stuff. Also free to do. Get us into that YouTube algorithm. You can visit theepicstorm.com/shop. You know, pick up Sweet Storm swag plus card singles. It's a lovely thing to do. All right. I'm finally done with the intro. I'm looking forward to match number 1. Hope to see you there. Let's crush today. Hey there. Let's start this vintage showcase. It's round number 1 and we're on the draw. I didn't bother to look up what our opponent's playing. Based on what my opening hand was, there's not a single matchup that I would chip this hand, so we're going to keep. Let's kick it off. Bizarre. Okay. We do have those additional tabernacles, like I mentioned in the intro, in the sideboard for this matchup. So hopefully they come into play, and hopefully we get this match 1 victory. Wasteland, okay. We can let that go. Interesting that they discarded Force of Vigor. Draw. Another PO. It's a little awkward. And we're just gonna pass. We have Force up. Because we do need to protect these. Alright, they're at 5 cards now. Another Bizarre activation, so they'll go down to 4 here. They didn't reveal a squee effect on the first one or the second one. Strip mine. Yeah. Down to 3 cards. So we could PO for 1, but that's not really worth it. So I think we're supposed to just like play out top. Maybe draw a mock so that way we can chain POs. Like an opal here would be really good. Are you thinking about killing my 1 mana vault? Okay, they thought better. Alright. Okay, so they're going to end up on 3 cards again after this activation. Discarded Mindbreak Trap, okay. That's probably not a good sign for me. Ooh, another Bizarre. So they're just going... They're trying to bring back Vengevine this turn by the looks of it. Ooh, and they missed. So they have 1 card left in hand. Probably a Mindbreak Trap. But we're going to 12, which means that next turn our opponent can theoretically swing for lethal with these Vengevines. In our upkeep, we're going to top. See if we can find another artifact for these POs. It's actually a little awkward. I think we're supposed to just take the fetch. Okay, so I can go to 11 and PO for 2. It saves mana for next turn, so I don't mind doing it. Also, like, this is just a way of playing around trap a little bit. Lotus. Okay. We're a mana short of casting Citadel. Because we need a starting mana. I guess I could Soul Guide them to make sure I don't die. That's interesting. So I can crack Lotus for blue, play... I mean, I don't hate that. Maybe this is the wrong line. I feel like I have to make this play. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to win this game now. I feel like I probably needed to play Citadel. It's probably a misplay. Alright. I feel like I might have thrown this. So we're going to go to 5, and then we have to figure out how to win next turn. Even without the Vengevine, like, we're in a tough spot here. Maybe I was supposed to just, like, hold and then try to resolve Citadel and win off Citadel at, like, 6 life. They have 1 Blazing Root Walla. So we're going to go to 5 here. I just don't know how we're going to win this. Even if I found Time Vault here, I'd have to find Time Vault off the top and then figure out a way of winning. I think my top card would have to be Time Vault. If I top and hit like Tinker, that doesn't do it. I think it's like it has to be exactly Time Vault. Okay, game 2. I feel like I might have misplayed that one by playing, not holding the Citadel. Alright, so Tabbers come in, Crypt, Needle, Fluster, Valence, and Sphinx. I think honestly you could probably just board out the Citadel. I really like Lavinia here, so I'm not boarding that out. I'm fine boarding out the Recall. I'm not a big fan of, like, Teferi is actually fine, but it's like really hard to keep it alive, which is a concern. Misstep can go. I don't really feel like this is a Snapcaster match. It's not about value, so Snapcaster can be sided out. Now we need 3 more. The problem with Teferi is, like, I just don't think I'm going to be able to keep it alive. And I'm definitely not siding out Lavinia. She's great here. Part of me wonders if I could, like, shave a Saga, because I boarded in 2 Tabernacles. Granted, these don't tap for mana, but, like, 16 land. I guess we're not a Citadel deck, so maybe I don't need to worry about that as much. About a minute left to think about this. Could board on an Opal, but Opal helps cast our Lavinias and our Balance. Probably shave like 1 PO, maybe? I don't even know if that's a good idea. I'm going to shave an Opal. Actually, I'm going to shave a Saga. I'd rather have an Opal in my deck than an Urza Saga. I don't feel like this is actually that great of an Urza Saga matchup. Oh, this is a turn 1 Saga. You know what? This is turn 1 Saga plus activate on turn 2. I'm going to try it. Wasteland's just going to wreck my life, but here we are. We have turn 1 Probe. See what they're working with. One is going down to 5 now. Down to 4. Down to 3. They exiled 3 with Serum Powder. Mulligans to 2. Alright, I'd really like... I don't know if I've ever lost to a mulligan or 2, but I certainly don't want it to happen. And I definitely kept a risky hand, so it's going to feel bad. Probe. Or Surgical. Surgical's an interesting card to side in against me. Constructs start coming next turn. Oh, sorry, can't activate this yet. My bad. Well, that's a good one. I mean, let's cast it. Why not? They drew a blue card. I'm going to pitch my force because my goal here is to draw a fetch land and just play Lavinia. No Lavinia. Or no fetch land, I mean. But I can still top for 1. Actually, I think it's probably just best to play Needle. My opponent's conceded. Okay, game 3. When my opponent didn't have Force of Vigor or Wasteland, Urza Saga was apparently fine. Yeah, let's try it. So this is turn 1 Lavinia. We can't protect it, which is kind of scary, but I think it's worth keeping. We get through Force of Negation and Mindbreak. Lavinia also counters all the Madness creatures on Hollow One if we can get her to resolve. I'd really like to draw Force of Will. Oh my. Yep, it's a good start. Yikes. Lavinia is apparently not good enough. We are looking for Tabernacle off the top now. Let's brainstorm. No Tabby. Lavinia is not good enough, I don't think, so I'm going to ship Lavinia back. Should I actually put back the Merchant Scroll? I think the answer is yes. So I'm just trying to think this out. I can end step play a Mystical for Tinker, and then untap a Tinker backup. We have 4 cards. So I could play Opal into Mana Vault, but if they Force of Vigor in response to the Mana Vault, I would lose 2 Moxen. And then I don't have turn 2 Tinker as well. The problem is, like, I want to be able to play through Mindbreak Trap on my next turn. Okay, that's a good sign. So I could try to PO here, but the problem is if they have Force or Mindbreak Trap, I just get got. So I'm going to Fluster, I think. Oh, I lose the Mindbreak anyway, so that's a dumb play. Sorry, I just realized that that play lost to Mindbreak anyway, so I didn't lose to Force, but still lost to Mindbreak. Once on 3 cards. Okay, so now they're going to go down to 2. I'd actually liked it if they played another threat here, or another card, because then I know that my Tinker would resolve. So if it's Force, and I Tinker first, I get really wrecked. But they know that I have Tinker, so are they really going to force the PO? Probably not. So I was also trying to think if we could possibly beat a Mindbreak. And I don't think the answer is yes if I start this way, but I think you're supposed to because they're more likely to have a Force than... It's just a tough spot. We can also draw into Tabernacle, which would just be amazing. Well, that was the nuts. We now have a protected Tinker. Double protected Tinker. That was just insane. Carry me, duck. Okay. Looks like I made the right choice. It's just, it was a difficult one. Sphinx. And now we can Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. Okay. If they activate this and hit double Root Walla, they'll be able to bring back Vengevine. But even that doesn't win here. Okay. They're not going to attack. Redraw. That's a good one. Zoink. Okay. Let's make another monk, why not? And let's get in there. Sphinx! I remember a time in Legacy in which Sphinx was a reanimator target. Can you remember a world before Gristlebrand? It was lovely, let me tell you. Alright, opponent activating Bazaar. and the concession. So we're going to get match number 1 over Hollowvine. Tabernacle never showed up. Disappointed in you, Tabby. But we still got the W. I'll see you in round number 2. Welcome to match number 2. We are on the draw. Our opponent has a history of playing a bunch of different Xerox type decks in Vintage. We're going to assume that they're on one of those. And we've opened up a reasonable hand. We'll keep this. Depending on what they're playing, if they are on a Xerox deck, I don't know if I want to start off on turn 1 Saga or not. We could also just like go get Ancestral on turn 1 as an alternative. Not sure what we should be doing here. Well, that's a good one. I think we're supposed to just go get another copy of Force of Will. And then turn 2 Tinker with Double Force. Just draw the best card in your deck. I mean, how bad could it be? Okay, so we have 2 copies of Force Tinker. There's a single card that could beat us, most likely, and I'm hoping they don't have it. Although it is very popular in Vintage at the moment. Okay, Time Walk. I'm going to Ponder. I don't really want to force into Flusterstorm. Wow. What an insane Ponder. It's just nuts. Let's go. Alright, so they're on Bug. Or not Bug. Okay. So we should be drawing Black Lotus now. Yeah, we're going to cast Tinker with the red mana floating. Or, I'm sorry, with the blue mana floating. Force of Will, the Pyroblast. I really don't want to have to get rid of this Time Walk, so I'm going to Fluster. So Time Walk's valuable because if our Citadel fails, then we want to be able to take the extra turn. That way they can't Oko it or Dack it, that sort of thing. And if we Time Walk, we can also just search up top with the Urza Saga. So then next turn we're almost guaranteed to win. Now Tinker. So this is a pretty good example of needing this Time Walk. Just as we drew it up. Don't mind if I do. Let's have this for mana. Go get top. It should be easy from here. Lavinia. Oh, what a land drop. Living on cloud 9 right now. And our opponent's had enough. Okay. So we've gotten game number 1 over this 4-color Xerox deck, most likely. I think we probably want Sphinx. Don't really like Lavinia here. We don't need the Hercs. I don't know how I feel about Balance. That's a card that I'm a little torn on. I don't know if we want endings or not. I'm just going to slide those there for now. I mean, Balance is a card that we can definitely use to our advantage to beat these style of decks. They have green, so I'm guessing they have Collector Roof, which makes me want the endings. Mystical can probably be sided out. Probably shave an Opal. So we need one more card to side out. I did board up to a 15th land. We could side down a land, but I don't really like that. Because land drops are just good against the control mirror. I could go down to 1 Opal, but I feel like that's a little bit dangerous with PO in our deck. We could side out a PO as another option. Could not side in Balance, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We could also hypothetically get rid of the Citadel and just have the Sphinx as our Tinker target. But I also like having two Tinker targets. Like, the flexibility is really nice. Is that crazy? Let's try it, I guess. I don't know if I like going down to one opal. It's kind of dangerous. Yikes. You know what? Let's live a little dangerously. Volcanic Island. Okay. You're gonna pass, okay. Good draw. I don't know if I want to lead on the Saga. Because if they steal my Mox, then the Saga gets a lot worse. I wonder what they were trying to cast on, if that was supposed to be like a turn 1 oof or not. Apparently not. I think I'm gonna risk Tundra here. I feel like they're a run deck, so they probably have Wasteland, but I think we need the white. Horse is a good pickup. I like the PO as well. I'm sorry, the crypt for PO. So I don't mind forcing here. Because we can hypothetically try to get them with balance as well. I don't know if balance will resolve, but we can try it. So this would be a discard 4. Okay, so apparently they're a Tinker deck. Is this Oath? It is Oath. Okay. 3 cards in hand. So we know our top card is a Flooded Strand. I don't think that this is going to resolve, but I'm going to try it. Alright. Sort of a bummer. Yep. So now they get to put likely Gristlebrand into play. So they're going to get my Teferi here. Why is that better than Gristlebrand? I guess it beats the Sphinx that I sided in, so we're definitely boarding out the Sphinx. So I don't think I actually want to make a construct. I'm just going to activate this. So I could get Lotus, but like we have to top into exactly Citadel most likely. Or I could get Manifold Key and then try to find Time Vault. I think I like that a little bit more. Top. Those are not good enough. Let's fetch. Top again. So I think I can do the top trick to remove my own spirit here. So we're going to draw, untap top, draw, play top, and then remove our own spirit. This way they won't get another Oath trigger on their turn. I really want that Oath trigger. Okay, so they're getting another oath. Oh no, they never mind. They did that on their main phase. Yeah, the oath isn't going to trigger here. Okay. Tinker. Guess we take the Fluster. Tinker. I could technically Snapcast for balance, but like that's not very good. Okay, let's go to game 3. I definitely boarded for a different matchup. My opponent hasn't had any results with Oath, so I didn't think it was Oath. But we can get rid of the Sphinx, get rid of these endings. Probably want the Mystical. Want these Opals. We can board out the Plains. Question is like, what do I board in? Like, Lavinia is not great because that activates Oath. Like, I could keep 2 ending, I suppose. Is it crazy? I've never even thought of this, to have Tabernacle for my own, for the spirits. Then they could just activate it on my end step and then untap and use it. In theory, I could also like board in the Soul Guides. But I don't think Graveyard Hate's like actually good against them. Like, I don't think hitting their Guy's Blessing is like that meaningful. Then again, I don't know how good ending actually is, and at least this is an artifact for PO. Let's try it. Okay, on the play for game number 3. Unfortunately, this isn't a keep. So this could be infinite turns. Is that the right play? Yeah, I think it's probably this. All right. This is definitely a risky hand. No protection for this time vault. Step 1. Yeah. Yikes. I don't know if these both resolve. Like, I think I could be wrong here, but I think that one would resolve and then the other checks. But maybe they could use the other orchard. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they should be able to use both, actually. Okay. We just need to be able to untap unscathed. This pause is killing me here from the opponent. Okay. I'm really nervous right now. Okay, so we can draw and then make a decision. So if I activate this, I can play my Saga. And then we get key. Yes! Hell yeah. 2-0. Get out of here, Oath. This is traditionally a very, very, very difficult matchup for us. But Urza Saga took this match over. Love to see it. We're 2-0. Let's keep it going. All right, round number 3. We're on the draw, unfortunately. And according to Goldfish, we are very likely playing the mirror. This hand is fine, but no force of will. Obviously, you would like to draw Sapphire or Pearl on the first turn to jam this Lavinia, but I still think it's a keep. I mean, you're not going to ship a hand with Ancestral, right? I also love to draw Lotus. Lotus would be insane. Waiting for our opponent to join us here. Okay. Max Emerald. Yep, this is definitely PO. Okay, they likely have Ancestral off the Demonic. Pausing our upkeep Ancestral. Yep. Bummer. Worst draw on the deck. I think I'm just gonna brainstorm here, honestly. We could ponder, I suppose. But I want to shuffle away the Citadel. No shuffle effect. Guess I can use Ponder to shuffle next turn or Mystical for force on my upkeep. Okay. I think maybe I made a play mistake putting back the Saga. I didn't consider Mystical in my upkeep. And if that's the case, I think I'd rather have Saga than Opal, but who knows. Okay. Looking very PO-like. Okay. And I'm just going to concede. We're not winning this. Let's go to game 2. Being on the play was so huge from our opponent there. So we're going to get rid of this Hercules. And I think that's all we really want to do here. We just want to stay lean. And our main deck is supposed to be good in the combo mirror. Let's find out. Maybe I kept a hand that was too slow on the draw. It's a possibility. We definitely got bullied a little bit. Friendly reminder, if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest combo content, open up the description down below and join all of our social media networks. I would personally recommend the Discord channel. Game 2, we're on the play. I think I'm going to try it. I'm taking a mulligan. Just going to lead off on Strand, try to look like a blue deck. Jigs up. Okay. Really hoping that this brainstorm misses. Alright, their draws were just much better than ours this round. Not much I could have done about this. Like, I could have mulliganed, I suppose, but like... Turn 2 Lavinia is really good. You got Blightsteel? They boarded in Blightsteel? Wow. Okay. So we also boarded out the Herc, so Teferis are out. I have to resolve it. So we have to time lock here and then rip Teferi. Come on, Doc, give me Teferi. There's 2 of them. Yes! Hell yeah! Okay. Zoink! Wow, I can't believe what just happened. Alright, so they have Saga now. Draw. We have Saga. Okay. Plus this. We can Snapcast for Time Lock. Is it better to play Lavinia first, though? Probably not, because then I don't have mana to do everything I want. Wow, we did not deserve to win that game. I got very, very lucky. Trying to think if I should change anything. Like, I in theory, if we think that they're going to leave in Blightsteel, I could board in balance. Don't think that's correct, though. We're just gonna resubmit. Okay. No force. I'm going to 5 cards. Why do they always have probe? Come on. It's not fair. Alright, no turn one broken start, it seems. Okay. So there's a few things that I could do here. I could Merchant Scroll for Ancestral and try to jam that. Switching Hull Breacher, huh? I think I'm fine with that. They're on 2 cards. Okay, so I'm going to Brainstorm on their end step. I can use the Mystical to shuffle in my upkeep if I want. Get rid of these POs, I think. Okay, so we can set this up so that I can Teferi into Ancestral. So we're going to Time Walk here. And then next turn play Teferi, bounce my Sapphire, and then Ancestral. Okay. Opponent's still on 2 cards. Feeling okay about this. Alright, opponent's back in it. Oh, come on. Don't do it. Okay. Play tough. Bounce the Sapphire. We actually have an interesting decision here. Well, it just became a lot less interesting. I was going to say we have an interesting decision here. If I drew a blue card, we could just Merchant Scroll for force to make sure we don't die. But now I think we just pass. And I'm going to hold the Ancestral strategically because I want to be able to, you know, create that storm on their turn. The Fairy's very good in the mirror, considering how like every list is playing 4 Fluster. It also shuts off force. So they could be getting Tinker here. This is just like, so this is a mirror match, and the difference that you're seeing is black versus white. When I'm looking at our opponent's deck list, they're literally just playing the inverse of our deck. So right here, it's the same deck, but they're on black. So they have Demonic Tutor and Vamp, Yogg-Will, Incarn. We have 2 Teferi, 2 Lavinia. And yeah, otherwise, same deck. In my opinion, we have a better win con. We have Mentor. Teferi's obviously insane, but we don't have the tutors. Get out of here. Alright, I'm gonna Ancestral. Plus. I wonder what I'm supposed to get with this Merchant Scroll. I guess PO, right? I could bounce the Tef. I think it's probably worth it. Hell yeah. So this turn, I could have taken a safer approach and just gotten force. I don't think that was necessarily worth it, and instead, look at us now. I think we're just going to PO again. Leave the blue floating. I get to probe. What do you have? Okay. That was a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have played that. My bad. I just lost out on a monk. But looks like we're going to be 3-0. And our opponent concedes. So yeah, we're 3-0. I think our opponent definitely drew better than us in the first 2 games. I got extremely lucky to win game 2. We were on a 2-outer. I'd have to go back and look, but I think we were on like 48 or 49 cards and we hit the 2-outer. So not very high odds. And then game 3, our opponent mulliganed to 5, and we sort of just, you know, had better cards. Teferi versus Demonic here. Clearly Teferi is a stronger Magic the Gathering card. Who would have known? A little bit of sarcasm with that. But 3-0, round 4 will be coming up. Okay, match number 4. We were facing Canister. We were on the play. Last time I faced Canister, they were on Bazaar deck, so I'm going to put them on the same. But this hand's just not good enough. We can't keep this, regardless of the matchup. I guess? It's not great. Just, I suppose you probably want to get the basic just in case they're not on a Bazaar deck. Can't afford to fight over that. We are not winning this game. Sorry about that. Turned off my air conditioner. I felt like it was being a little bit too loud. And it is a Bazaar deck. They just happen to have the one of Misstep. So it's actual factual Dredge. Alright, we can go to game 2. We're not gonna win that. So, Tabernacle, Crypt, Needle. I do like Fluster. Fluster doesn't align super well anymore because of grief, but I think it's still worth it. Yeah, I think you probably want Sphinx and not Blightsteel. You can get rid of these Tufts. Narset can go. Lavinia might be fine on the play. Still 3 cards over. Maybe we just ditch the Lavinia. Well, you can board out Misstep. I feel like it's Lavinia. I mean, she's pretty good against Dredge, but I don't know. Just don't know. Probably board out the Citadel. Maybe just stay on 3 Fluster. Alright, let's try this out. On the play once again. Turn 1 Tinker with Fluster back up. Yup. So we did board out Citadel, so we don't just win even though we have the top. Okay. Sphinx is usually a guaranteed win against the Bazaar decks anyway. This also plays around Force of Vigor. Okay. Bazaar. Excuse me. 2 Narcos and a Blood Gas, so not a terrific draw. They will get my Fluster here. Alright, so we're going to game 3. Is Lavinia good enough on the draw? Probably not. So I think I want the Fluster. And maybe even Snapcaster made. I could also just do one Lavinia. Like, that's not the end of the world doing one Lavinia, but I think I want the Fluster. Alright, let's try it. It's a lot of Flusterstorms. They've mulliganed. I don't think that this hand's good enough, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think I can keep that. Alright, so this is not terrific, but I think it's fine. Gonna need Urza Saga to do some work. I guess one of the nice things is that, like, grief really doesn't matter that much. Double Echorid stinks. Okay. It's one way of beating Tabernacle. Alright, so this is going to get, you know, Soul Guide or Tormod's Crypt, one of those effects. They're gonna Dredge here. Stinkweed is just perfect for them. Well, not Stinkweed, Echorid, because it gets through the Tabernacle. Yep. And an auto yield. Okay. Love to draw like Tormod's Crypt off the top. Only one Echorid, okay. Mill the Wasteland. Okay. So we're going to play Tabernacle here, force them to sacrifice these. I know I'm not going to get to use my Saga to make constructs, but that's fine. Okay. And they stacked it correctly, so that this way they can remove the Amalgam to Echorid, and then deal me 6 damage. We're looking for our opponent to not draw into a Wasteland or a Strip Mine off Bazaar this turn. Well, they chose to Dredge, okay. Really nervous right now. Okay. Interesting that... No, they didn't discard Force of Vigor, did they? They did not. That was the Dredge. I was going to say, it's interesting that they discarded Force of Vigor. Yes. Okay. Not Wasteland or Strip Mine. Okay. Draw. We can float man off the Saga. No! Oh, so brutal. We don't have a force. Come on, Tormod's Crypt. That was just backbreaking. Am I dead? 2 Ichorids. We can Dredge the Deckmar Salvage again. This is not looking good. Oh, that was backbreaking. They have 3 Ichorids? That's lethal. Yeah, we're dead. Tabernacle did its best, but we're dead. We needed to draw something this game. Like, we needed to draw a force. We never hit it. I mean, props to Canister, they played well. They bizarred into Force of Vigor green card to blow up our Saga. Yep. It's a lot of damage this turn. That's it. We are 3-1. All right, round number 5. We're on the play, and we are facing a Doomsday Specialist. And opening up triple Flusterstorm against Doomsday is usually, you know, insane, along with having Force of Will. But this Urza Saga not being a blue source. Yikes. We have to ship it. This seems fine. A little bit awkward. I think we're actually supposed to get rid of Saga. Yeah, I think that's correct. So we need to fetch for Tundra, turn 1, cast Ponder. And then from there, we can look for an artifact for this Academy, or we can, you know, just take another land and then play Lavinia on turn 2. Lavinia is incredibly good in this matchup. So Ponder. Well, Black Lotus and Flusterstorm are both cards I would like. So, yeah. Okay. We just have to be able to untap now. Please don't turn 1 me. Okay. Cycling that Street Wraith. And passing. I love to see a good pass. This an Ancestral? Okay. Lavinia! I guess I'm paying for Lavinia? Remove to days. Okay. And I think I want to Mystical for Ancestral here. Okay. Well, that worked out. Sorry if my microphone is picking up and a concession from the opponent. Sorry if my microphone is picking up. My next door neighbor just started mowing their lawn and it's probably grabbing it, so my apologies in advance. Alright, so Doomsday. We definitely want this Fluster, getting rid of the Hercs. And I think that's it. Unfortunately, Mentor is the best win con we have here. The previous list that had Breachers, obviously I think I'd prefer Breacher to be my win con, but Mentor's fine. It's just not ideal. We also have the Soul Guide, which isn't super good in the matchup. We could swap it with Needle for Necro, but at least this cycles, and I think that's slightly better. Could also board and balance, because like they're a deck that relies on lands being in play. They don't play a whole lot of artifact mana, so we could possibly wreck them with a good balance, but I don't know how good that actually is. Maybe it's better than Soul Guide. I've always wanted to just like mind twist somebody with balance, so let's see if we can do it. This might be able to do it. Are we gonna get to live the dream? No, you're not allowed to see that. Okay. Let's have our own probe. Opposition agent. Force time walk. Okay. So if they play like land time walk here, I can ancestral and they won't have a blue card for the force. Yep. Okay. This is pretty interesting. So I'm trying to set this balance up correctly. So So if I right now cast Ancestral and they force, they'll be down to 1 card in hand. Which would be a Dark Ritual. Alternatively, I think this is actually a better line. I let them force the balance. And then they force balance, I get to Ancestral. And then I get to... Because like now they just have Dark Ritual, and I don't really care about that. So next turn we can peel for a bunch. They just have a Ritual. Alright, so we're going to go to 13. Alright, we're going to top looking for a blue card in our upkeep. That's a pretty good one. Guess we take Academy. Mana Vault. PO. So at least the balance was good force fodder this game, right? I mean, I could have gone for like the cripple game, but like this is just better, I think. Okay. Oh, I did it again. I didn't look to see if I drew Mentor. It's twice now. Both times was with Sapphire. All right. So Jet's fine. Okay. Part of me wants to just play Teferi so they F6. Like, let's speed this up. Alright, we can bounce the agent now. Opal. Time Vault. And top. Alright, so we at the moment have double force up for our opponent's turn, and there's not a whole lot that they can do. So I'm just gonna pass. There's no point, like, in theory, I could spin top, tapping the Mana Vault, look to keep going, but why bother? Like, that is so win more. Alright, Scalding Tarn. So we know that they have Dark Ritual Agent and 1 Unknown. Was there a draw Doomsday? Okay, you can have an agent. Well, that is not allowed. They're hellbent, so I'm just gonna force pitch force. And that's the match. We are now 4-1. Okay, round 6. Our opponent is last seen playing 4-color Xerox. I don't think that this hand is particularly amazing in that matchup. That said, if we can get them to counter Lavinia, and then maybe resolve Ancestral when they're tapped out or something along those lines, would be very good for us. I think our best draws are most likely Sapphire or Pearl, but I don't know. We'll see what we draw. Our opponent is considering their hand. quite a long time here. So this is the deck: Deathrite Shaman, Grim Lavamancer, Ragavan, Collector Roof, Confidant, Territorial Kavu, Endurance, Leovold. I don't know if that's what they're playing today, but this appears to be it. Flusterstorm, Green Sun Zenith. It's certainly an interesting deck. All right, we're gonna keep. Okay, they have the Deathrite. Scroll, okay. So I can play turn 1 Scroll for Fluster or Force. I think I'm supposed to get Force because they have a Green Sun for Oof. And yeah, obviously I don't want to lose to Oof. Interesting, they forced it. Okay. Force pitching force nonetheless. Alright, so they can use Deathrite to get up to 3 mana. Deathrite activation happens. Turns out they had Loof the whole time. This card's really, really difficult for me to beat. I just have the 2 Teferi, so that's what we're working with at the moment. I suppose we can like snap Fluster as well. I think I'm just gonna try to Ancestral here. I suppose I could just like play Lavinia too and make sure they don't do anything that hurts. This might be better. Okay. So another way of beating Oof is to just play Mentor and then play zeros and obviously beat them down. Wasteland, okay. Interesting that they're eating the land here. I think that means that they're likely going to waste us. Demonic Tutor. Okay. Alright. We need this Ancestral to do a lot of damage. Also, they likely got Ancestral with their Demonic, so a Fluster would be nice here. And we hit the Fluster. It's worth noting, Saga is another way that we can potentially beat Oof. Okay. I'm going to attempt to counter that. I'm going to keep the Tundra hidden for now because it's our last white source. All of our other white sources are artifacts, and Oof would stop that. Hey, we countered Ancestral. Okay, what's going on here? Ragavan, okay. Need the Saga to not get destroyed. Another Deathrite, okay. Got lucky. I think if they attacked with the Ragavan, I was supposed to block. Okay. Is Urza Saga going to carry us to the Promised Land versus main deck Collector Roof? And they're passing, so we get to make a construct here. Take a draw. Good draw. I think we should get top here, because if we do resolve this Teferi, we're going to want action spells. I think it's free to swing. Okay. This deck has so many creatures in it that I can't help but wonder if it's actually correct to bring in Tabernacle against them. Wasteland to turn too late. Okay, they're gonna eat the Saga. They have a trophy. We do not have a basic to get. Lavinia would counter the ruby anyway if they played it. Okay, so the plan right now is that we're going to fetch for Tundra, play Teferi, bounce Oof, cast Time Walk. Now we can actually Snapcaster Time Walk as well. Okay, we'll bounce that Oof. Time Walk. Do you have a Fluster? Ooh. Tef locked you down. So we just have lethal now. I mean, we technically had it already. So what's going to happen is next turn we Snapcaster Time Walk again and then swing, and they would have been forced to block with the Deathrite. Game 1 over 4 color. So I definitely want Prismatic Ending here. Looking at their deck, they have 4 copies of Force of Vigor on the board. I can't help but want Sphinx here. I think Sphinx is just a slam dunk. They do have a Dak Fade in their deck and a Liliana of the Veil. So Lily's probably how they try to answer Sphinx. We don't want the Lavinia. That's just like not really what we want to be doing here. Balance seems really good. We don't want the Hercules. Probably don't need this Soul Guide. So then the question becomes, do we want Tabernacle? I don't think the answer is yes, unfortunately. It's just like, they'll be able to pay for their creatures. I think it's like sort of a bad move to bring it in. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... Oh, I probably want the planes. Maybe take out an opal. Let's try this out. Friendly reminder, we have card singles at theepicsroom.com/shop, including a Japanese Tolarian Academy. Used to be in my vintage deck, now I have a signed one. Go grab it, I don't want to own it anymore. Please buy my Japanese Tolarian Academy, be a great person. Welcome to game 2. This is a very interesting hand. I'm going to keep it. Yeah. I mean, there's no clear path here. Like, we can turn one to Fairy, but I don't know how good that actually is. Part of me wants to just remove this Deathrite. Let's do it. Get out of here, Deathrite Shaman. Maybe that was a mistake getting the planes. We did see that they're a waste deck. That's what my fear was. Hey, it's paying off. Artifact. Hell yeah. Cast PO right now. We could also just play Taf, which might be better. So I'm going to pitch the PO, because if this gets countered back, and that's why. Because if that got countered back, I didn't want to be stuck with a PO that didn't do anything. So it looks like I messed up here by playing the Urza Saga too soon. Okay, we'll add blue. Wow. They're ahead now. By a lot. Jeez. Okay. Let's draw Soul Ring, I guess. Step 1. Alright, let's draw another land. Wow. My hand was good too. Yep. Turn late, Fluster. Turn late. Kills the Mentor. That's pretty good. I think we want to draw like balance now. I think I'm supposed to just pass. Like, we can draw Prismatic Ending or balance, so that way I'm not just throwing away the Mentor. Yep. Throw event triggers. Okay. There's balance. I mean, that gives us a shot. The balance has been pretty good today. So their Fluster will beat our Fluster. They have more mana. That's unfortunate. So I guess Snapcaster won't even be good enough because they could just eat the balance. That said, our opponent's down to 12 minutes. I'm going to sit here and die slowly while they burn their clock. Okay. Sure, you have a Leo. I am not going to win this game, so if you want to skip ahead, feel free, but I'm going to just sit here and have my opponent kill me. Alright. Great. No point in playing Mentor. The way that we actually could have won this game is if we draw Tinker with Fluster backup for Sphinx. That's a realistic way for us to win. Okay. They've already played Ancestral. I guess this just gets Force. Fluster, yep. Can't Brainstorm due to Leo, have to pass. Okay. I think I'm actually going to board in the Fluster for the third game. They've shown enough spells that I think I need to Fluster. Their deck list has a lot of creatures in it, but I think that there's just like enough cards I need to Fluster that it should really be in my deck. Okay, a little late on these ones, but is what it is. Okay. Going to game 3. What do I want to board out for the Fluster? Is that crazy? No, like PO's probably not very good against them. They have 4 Force of Vigors in their deck. Yeah, let's try this out. You could also argue that like Lavinia is probably fine against them if they have 4 Force of Vigor. But I don't know what I'd actually board out for them outside of PO. And then you're like kind of all in on winning via Tinker. Yeah, I don't think I want to change my board strategy at all. Alright, just I want turn 1 Tinker with like Force Fluster backup. Is that too much to ask? Come on, Doc. Friendly reminder, If you are unfamiliar, I'm a part of the Eternal Glory podcast alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We discuss primarily Legacy. That said, a lot of what we discuss transcends formats. It's great for all Magic knowledge. Make sure to subscribe to us. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Game 3, and we are on the play. This hand is risky. Oh, it doesn't even have a 0. I can't keep this. My bad. Ship. I don't like this, but I think going to 5 isn't going to go very well for me. So we're going to lead off on an island before... Well, they're going to 5. We're going to lead off on an island because this way we can potentially protect our Saga from Flusterstorms. Or, I'm sorry, from Force of Vigors. Alright, opponent's considering their 5. Alright, I'm just going to lead off on turn 1 Strand. I'm not even sure if I'm going to play Saga on 2. Like, I might wait until I have double Fluster up, so that way I don't let them back in the game. Like, what if they have Ancestral Fluster, and I lose because, like, I just don't... Because I can't interact. Strip mine. Okay. Well, now I need to try to get them to waste something, or strip something. Okay. I'm gonna see if they'll destroy my island. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to wait for Saga. I'm gonna wait one more turn before playing it. Alright, so this does give them 2 Force of Vigor targets, but it also makes it so that Fluster on Force of Vigor would cause them to pay 3. Pitching Force of Vigor. So it turns out Force for our turn was a good draw. Another one. So they're Hellbent now. We can Fluster this. And hopefully the Saga takes over the game. Alright, they're Hellbent. I mean, essentially so are we with this Flooded Strand. And they're passing. I mean, it's something. Stops Ancestral. Okay. Make a creature here. So if they drew another Force Vigor, they could hardcast it. And I think we just want to grab top here. Saga's done a lot of work today. Alright, so we're going to fetch for Island. And so, no, we've already used Island, so we have to get Tundra. I don't want to get the Plains yet, I think. Alright, I think I'm going to go get Tinker. To hell with it. We have 1 card in hand. We can do it. Alright, let's hope this resolves. If not, I'm giving them an extra turn, because this turns these into 3/3s. The backdoor plan is really nice here. So while Urza Saga is a little bit weak to Force of Vigor, we didn't have to be a PO deck, which is like a big reason why we were winning this game. And they've conceded. All right, just like that, we are now 5-1, 2 rounds left to go. Round 7, we're on the draw. Our opponent's name is turn 1 Tinker, which probably means that they're playing a Bizarre deck. But we'll keep this. This hand seems fine. I am so smart. Yep. All right. They're on Dredge. Can't do anything about that. Yep. They're gonna get a zombie from Bridge. I think they probably take the Ruby here. I suppose they could take the top too. Interesting. Okay. Wonder if they have Force of Vigor or they have another Grief. Wow. That hurts. Yikes, what an opening. I guess how we win this is by just drawing Tinker. Okay. Come on, Tinker. I also take the main deck Soul Guide right now. But that's only gonna buy time. Not very good here. So I can remove the Bridge. Probably worth it. Come on, Tinker. Yeah, I think we're just done. Yeah. We would need a series of good things to happen for us in order to win this. Alright, so we're taking 6, going down to 6. Wastelands, blue cards. The Shambling Shells are also like a giveaway for Force of Vigor. Ooh, nice circles. Alright, going to game 2. Definitely want these tabs. Crypt, Needle, Fluster, Valence, Sphinx. Get rid of the Hercles. Get rid of these. Snapcaster can go. What now? Is it just siding out Lavinia's again? Stops Force of Vigor, they have Forcible and Cabal Therapy. I just don't know what else I'm supposed to board out. Yeah, it's probably just the Lavinias. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky and win the post-board games. It's gonna be difficult. Game 2 on the play against Dredge. So if they don't have a force, this is turn 1 infinite turns. Am I supposed to keep that? Probably. This loses to either force. I could feel the X2 right now. They kept 7. Okay. Wow, we got it! We got it! Nice. All right, going to game 3. Wow, we got away with murder there. Game 3 now. I'm gonna leave it as is. No Mimer Trap, no Force of Will, no Force of Negation, Force of Vigor. Like, there's a lot of cards that mess this up there. This looks like a keep to me. Obviously, we need to draw a blue source, but like, I think I'm supposed to keep this. When it kept 7. Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be a tough game. They're forcing. I'm gonna force back and pitch the PO. I don't see myself casting that PO this game. And I'm going to let them dredge. Like, if they wanna... Like, I'll let them get in for the extra 3 is what I'm saying. Ball therapies and another Icarid. Double therapy hurts. Really didn't want to have to use it like this. Definitely feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle right now. Alright, so we're going to 12. Oh, come on. That's brutal. Going to 10. Oh, another Bazaar. I'm just dead. I am just dead. So they can bring back Icarid, and then they just have to mill a Creeping Chill, and I'm dead. Ah, oh, shit. So they're just going for double chill. So they can look at another 16 cards for double chill right now. Trying to feel like, I guess like Soul Guide is like my best draw. We've already used Crypt. Like Lotus or something, and then Ponder into Tinker. So they hit the Narc Amoeba, so the prized amalgams are going to come back now. So like the graveyard outs don't exist anymore. So I guess finding Tabernacle, but then they have Icarid. Yeah, they have double, so Tabernacle doesn't do it either. Need a miracle. Step 1. Okay. That is not step 2. Oh my. Is Tinker actually good enough here? So they have double Icarid. So let's say I block this, they have 2 Icarids, 13 coming in. Yeah, that's just lethal. So Sphinx isn't good enough. I don't have Citadel on the deck. Is my out here to hope that they miss it? Sphinx just doesn't win here. Yeah, I'm just dead to double Icarid. Pretty sure. Because that's 13 and I go to 12. Yeah. Go to -1. Bummer. So we're X2 now. We were dead for top 8. We just need to win the last one. There's an outside shot that I make it on breakers, but like, because we're 3 players over the cutoff, but I don't think it's going to be me. I was middle of the pack on breakers coming into this round, but I'm just going to try to get the next one and play tight. All right, the 8th and final round. We are facing the top of the X2s. I was currently in 13th coming in, and this person was in 10th. So we're looking to beat them because that's going to help us possibly jump into the top 8. We're on the play. Hodor Time Baby typically plays shops. And I don't think that this hand is good enough against shops. We're going to ship this. This is Termin Lavinia. I mean, that's not bad. Bottom the Snapcaster. Alternatively, I could play Emerald, play top, play Opal, tap Opal for 3 and PO for 4 cards. Is that better than they've kept 7? We're gonna keep. Alright, I think I'm gonna PO. So this taps for 3. Draw 4 cards here. Hopefully we can still play the Lavinia, but it depends on our draws. Well, apparently they're not on shops. Okay. That's good. Jeez. Going to need this Lavinia to do some work now. Okay. Well, Tinker's definitely a start. Okay. Have this for blue. Please resolve. So if they fluster, that's only storm 2, and I can pay for fluster. Okay. Good sign. Playing whatever land it is doesn't hurt. So it looks like they did have a fluster. So that's actually going to shut off top. It's kind of annoying. Okay. So I can still look at their hand. They must have drawn Force and Negation after. But it looks like they're also not on PO. Well, I guess they pitched a PO. Or pitched an Urza. Let's activate top here. Double land off, that's kind of a bummer. Am I supposed to spin top again? Really want to find Teferi. So I think we go get Time Vault and then hope to find key. Okay. So Narset can clear those. Okay, this is going alright. Yeah, get in that chip damage. Okay. So we draw the land. Boom! Hell yeah. Got game number 1. I think I want to leave in the Lavinias. I'm not positive, but I think that's what I want to do. I definitely don't want the Hercules. I don't think I'm supposed to board in endings, but I'm not positive. We did see Urza. I'm just gonna submit this, I think, just swapping the Hercules for a Fluster. Game 2. On the draw, round number 8. Theoretical maybe winning in. 13 to... Oh, well, that's interesting. Can't actually hardcast the Citadel. I mean, if I do like Mana Vault or something, I'd actually have it. I'm gonna keep. Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, they're all great draws. Plus, like, double force has to be pretty good here. Okay. Maybe I was supposed to play Saga there. I don't know. Come on, Pearl. I mean, that was pretty good too. Okay. Land. A little bit awkward. So I think I'm supposed to pass here, and then Mystical for Fluster. Sure, I don't care about that. So we get Flusterstorm. Go get Key. They have 3 cards. Force Pitch Force. Think we got it. That's it. We went 6-2, and I guess I'll show you the standings. So Canister, who was our tiebreaker, 8-0, that's great for us. We beat the person in 10th. We just have to hope to jump into the top 8. If you don't hear from me, obviously I didn't make it, but I hope that there's another round after this one. And yeah, the deck list was great. I'd play the same 75 all over again. It's unfortunate that both losses were to Dredge, and neither time I drew my Tabernacle, really. So sometimes that happens. We didn't draw a lot of graveyard hate either, but this was a good event. Hopefully there's another round, but if there's not, keep storming. Lucky, lucky, lucky. 7th place coming in. And we're on the play against Dredge this time. Let's see if we can get revenge on turn 1 Tinker. Alright, turn 1 Saga with top. I think that this is fine. Alright. I had a lot of things go right in order to make top 8. Our opponent, I needed them to win their round, and that got me in. 3 of my 4 remaining breakers all won the round. So thank you to Canister, thank you to turn 1 Tinker, and that stinks. Thank you to, their name was like Ilulu. Thank you to all 3 of you. I greatly appreciate you winning. Alright, so now Saga needs to beat Dredge. It's going to be very, very difficult. So the current game plan is we're going to make 2 constructs and then go get Soul Guide Lantern. That is the current game plan. Okay. I don't think we even play Mana Vault. We're not going to PO here, so why even bother? Okay, well that hurt. Well, this Soul Guy might be too slow now. So our opponent's going to get a prized amalgam, and then Cabal Therapy me, and then get a zombie. 2 zombies, 3 zombies, 1 bridge, 2 bridge, 2 bridges. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to be good enough. All right, I think I'm just going to make my my construct an F6. Okay. Yep. I guess one way we could win this is if we drew Tinker, or if we drew Time Vault off the top. So those 2 would both theoretically win. Okay. So now we go get Soul Guide Lantern. Looks like right now Stinkweed is the only dredger in the graveyard. No, there's a Golgari Thug. Guess I remove the Amalgam? Let's pass. So if I block here, and then they force me to use the Soul Guide, this construct will die. I think I have to. Oh, I forgot about the zombies. Oh, God damn it. That was so dumb. Oh, wow. I can't believe that just happened. I definitely messed that up. I think I'm gonna let the Icarid in. I'm just gonna take the Icarid damage and then on their end step, Soul Guide them before they can get anything out of it. I might lose this game because of that dumb block. Are they gonna push? They're pushing. So I'll take 11 down to 7. Yeah. So there's still 2 more Creeping Chills in their deck. So I really don't want to crack this Flooded Strand. Let's turn off auto yields. And they stack their abilities correctly, so that way the Icarid will still be in their graveyard. Come on, deck. Since he's Divining Top. This gets countered. Yikes. That's not good. Yeah, these zombie tokens are literally going to be the death of me. That misplay. It's my fault. I mean, they hit another bridge too. Yeah, I'm just dead. Team 2. Okay. Gonna have to play better than that in order to win. I think I want to leave in Lavinia. They showed me Force and Negation too. Is it crazy to just like bore down on PO? Like, I don't think PO is actually good here between Force of Vigor and other forces. I can board on Misstep. Let's try it. On the play again. Sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to mull these hands or not. It's like the same hand 2 games in a row. This one's a little bit better than the first, but they're very similar. Okay. We need to find some Grave Hate. Grave Hate, Needle, or Tabernacle. That's really what we're looking for. Vicar Bridge Therapy, okay. I'm gonna get Basic Island here to avoid Wasteland and just play top. You know, Dredger kind of scares me in this, if I'm being honest. Okay. I wonder if I'm supposed to remove Vicar or Bridge. I think the answer is Icarid. Okay, upkeep Bizarre. Looking for that Dredger. They hit Dredger. Double Therapy, so if they play a Hollow one, I'm just going to Snap Force Hollow one. Maybe I'll top first, but when they have Double Therapy, it's just helping them out by allowing it to resolve. Okay. So getting Tundra here was actually kind of sneaky, because they might waste this now into our Urza Saga. Okay. Deal. Please don't tell me what your last 2 cards are, what I think they are. We know one of them's a Grave Troll. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yep. Fortunate. So they currently don't have a Dredger, so I'm supposed to let them activate this in their upkeep. Now they have the Dredger. This stinks that I have to do this. So we're drawing Soul Ring now. Okay. We can come back from here, I think. Okay. We're drawing a Mox, which is fine. It doesn't matter the order that I do this in. So I guess this way, turn off auto yields. Okay. Alright, so we got game number 2. Game 3. That was a very close game. Alright, I'm just going to resubmit. I can't keep this, can I? Like, this hand's definitely not good enough. 1 Force of Vigor down. 3 Hollow Ones down. This hand just isn't good enough, I think. I don't think I can keep this either. Come on, deck. Quit giving me these PO hands. Not feeling too confident in this one. Like, I don't think I was supposed to keep those. Okay. So they can bring back Icarid and Dredge. Okay. Hit the bridge. I guess my draw here to win is Tinker. Come on, Tinker. Please. Yeah, I'm out of this now, I think. Go to 9. They're gonna get one more zombie. My window's closing. Oh, they're gonna therapy me? Sure. It makes sense to get rid of the Narco. Yeah, that's smart. Because then you have zombies instead. That's actually exactly lethal next turn, too. So I can balance, which honestly helps her opponent. If I play Mentor, block the Icarid, go to 3, go to 2, and then next turn I can balance. Okay. This leaves me with the possibility of removing their bridge. I need to draw like Tormod's Crypt or Soul Guide Lantern for turn. Wait, did they just mill another therapy or is that exiled? Oh, that's their exile. Choosing to leave the Shambling Shell in the graveyard so that way they can attack next turn with Icarid. Alright, so I need to draw Soul Guide or Tormod's Crypt. Another needle won't do it. Alright, so we're going to finish this event 6-3. I guess I could try to trick them and name Icarid here. See if they'll fall for it. Yep. And they knew better. Yeah, that's the match. I mean, I put up for a fight for it being a mulligan to 4. Those other hands didn't do anything. I couldn't keep those. Once again, we never found Tabernacle, which was kind of an issue. 3 matches against Dredge, never found it. But I'll take a top 8, which means I'm in the Vintage Showcase. Yeah. It was a good event. Can't complain too much. I wouldn't change anything, I don't think. I mean, I wish that I drew my sideboard cards a little bit more often, but it is what it is. Balance was huge today. Big fan of Balance. Definitely going to play that again in the future. Yeah, I don't really want to review this deck again. It was fantastic. 6-3 is a little bit of a bummer, but I don't know. I guess you could add in like another Soul Guide into the board over, I don't know. I'd have to think about it, but thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.